thoughts on taking over this role and the opportunity you've been afforded here?
Well, first of all, I think it's a great opportunity. I mean, I've been dying to get back since February 14th of 2 years ago. So, I mean, it's when approached, I thought this is perfect. I've always wanted to coach in Canada, and so this was going to be a great opportunity, and I jumped at it.
What do you think you have with this group of players?
Well, I mean, if you look on paper, there's a lot of good players here. I mean, everybody that's texted me, and I got so many texts in the last 2 days, from hockey people say, you got a lot of things to work with here. There's a lot of good things to work with, and they're saying all the stuff that you would normally say when you're texting a guy, oh, you can do it, you can do this and that. But, I mean, the one thing that's consistent is they're saying that there's a lot of good pieces to this team, and I totally agree.
John Garrett, Minnesota Fighting
I
Saints.
think I've seen you before.
Congratulations and welcome back to the NHL.
Thank you.
I know you need your skates sharpened.
Oh my God, I thought I was going to die out there today.
You've always had the ability to make teams better offensively, and I played with you and I knew you were a great offensive player. Do you think your playing style is reflected in your coaching style?
You know what? I don't think so. I mean, my philosophy is quite different. People ask me that all the time, and I said, I don't understand why you can't be a great offensive team and a great defensive team at the same time. When you have the puck, we're going. When you don't have the puck, we're checking to get the puck back. But I think most players, no matter how offensive they were when they played, when you become a coach, you start thinking a little more defensively on that side. But I think I know the offensive side, and I think we're going to try to be a very aggressive offensive team. But at the same time, we're going to be hopefully a responsible team in that we don't turn pucks over and we play very good in our own zone. I know my last year in Mini, I think at the time of the dismissal or the year before, we were the #1 team in the giving up the fewest high danger chances. It just so happened we were 31st in save percentage at that point. Not a good combination. So we want to play really good defensively, but I think that there's keys to the offensive players that I think I can help with, as far as what I see and what they could be doing a little bit better.
Ben Kuzma, Vancouver Province, Vancouver Sun, Post Media, Hockey News.
Everything.
Couple from me. Morning skate, at one point you were having a pretty good conversation with Brock Besser. You seem to have this ability, Bruce, to reach these young players on a different level. How important was it to just take a few minutes with a guy who's struggling? And what was your message to Brock?
Well, one of it is because I haven't grown up yet myself. So I mean, I think I can think like young guys think. But I mean, all I was telling Brock was there. He says, man, every time you played against us, you scored, and you were shooting. Let's get back to shooting. From the first game he played against Minnesota, I said, do you remember, you scored 2 goals that game, and we didn't have a clue who you were? And that's the Brock Besser I want to see. And I think if he scores a goal or 2, his confidence is going to come back. But it all starts with shooting the puck. If you're a shooter, let's shoot the puck. Let's not try to be cute. I had Ovechkin in his early years, he'd have 13 to 15 shots at the net a game, and maybe one would go in, but it's just shooting the puck. I mean, and when things don't go well, you try to be cute. You try to pinpoint like a 2-inch area in the net rather than just shooting at, I call quads, different quads in the net, just the top quarter of the net or the bottom quarter of the net. But I mean, I think that's all his problem is a little bit of confidence, and when he gets out of it, he'll start doing what he can do.
You have a history of riding your horses pretty well. Your first year in Mini, Granlund, Stahl, Nino, and Zucker had a mammoth leap in goal production. Is that from something that you instilled in them or just playing them a lot?
I think they just had a good chemistry. I mean, with Eric, it was easy because he had just come from New York and he was a third-line left winger, and his whole life he's used to being the #1 center and being the guy to lean on. And when we signed him and when I phoned him, I said, listen, I don't want you to be a third-line guy. I don't want you to be bringing young kids along. I want you to be our number one guy, and he just embraced that. And so he was happy to be playing there with Granlund, Zucker, and Koivu. It was a great line that first year, and I mean they were all plus 30 plus, and all had 60 plus points, and we could play them against every line. And sometimes the chemistry just fits, and I think the chemistry just fit with those guys.
Jeff Pettersson, just your reaction, and I'm sure you've done a little homework on this team, when you see they're killing penalties at 64% this season.
Not very good, is it? No, I mean, well, I think it's a big reason why they haven't had as much success as they'd like to. I mean, you just take last game there was 2 goals, whether it was 5-on-3 or not. I mean, in Boston they lost the game with 2 third-period power play goals, and you can go down the road. Their 5-on-5 game. If you look after 25 games, their plus minuses for their record are not bad. Not that you want to put all the stock into that, but you can see tendencies with that. But I mean, Scott Walker's going to come in and he's going to run the penalty killing. He's very good at it. And I mean, when we were at our Team Canada meetings last week, I mean, and I was so impressed with what he was doing. And I thought, okay, this guy would be great, you know, and I think he'll do a really good job with it.
Here, and will he be on the bench tonight?
Yep, he'll be on the bench tonight. He's here. He got in at 10:30 or something this morning.
Bruce, Thomas Drance from The Athletic. With your coaching experience, both in Anaheim and in Washington, you came in midseason while clubs were struggling. Do you have to change your approach or in any way alter your approach when you're coming in midseason versus when you're taking over at the start of a campaign?
Well, I don't think there's a coach alive that wouldn't rather have a whole training camp to get everything going, because I'm watching stuff today and go, oh yeah, I got to show that, oh, I got to do that, you know, you're all over the place, and then you got to bring yourself back in and say, you know, I just got to take baby steps and work on one thing at a time. And I mean, today we did 2 drills today that I wanted to change up a little bit of what they did. And so, but you just got to add it a little bit at a time. In Washington, it was easy because I had coached 7 of the players the year before, and so they just, you know, they grabbed on what I wanted to do. In Anaheim, I mean, it took about 10 days to get everything the way I wanted it. And then I think we went on a really good, I think 21-2-2 run after that, and to almost approach the playoffs, something of those numbers. And but it'll take a little bit of time because we play. Today is just a morning skate. We'll have a good practice tomorrow. Then you play again, and then you have another practice. Then you've got your 4 days a month that they get off, and I don't even know which ones they are yet. So I mean, we'll have to go by then. I'll look at the schedule more tomorrow of when we're doing things all the time. So
With your situation, you've come in for the rest of the season, you have an additional year remaining on your deal. The math is obviously steep for this club at this point in the campaign, but what are your personal goals? Like what do you hope to achieve over the balance of this season?
well, I mean, you'd really like to make it a winning team from here on in, and to get the guys happy, get the fan base happy again with them winning. And I mean, wherever that leads, that leads. We just don't want things to continue the way they were continuing. And if it ends up getting into a playoff spot, fine and dandy. That's our ultimate goal for everybody. I mean, I look at, I'm a big believer in a lot of stuff, whether it's fantasy or not, but I mean, I look at St. Louis making the playoffs January 1st. I mean, I never think it's an impossibility. Like, I mean, what are we, 9 points out of a playoff spot now? Something around those numbers. I mean, if you gain 1 point a week, that doesn't seem as hard as saying, well, you got to be 12 games above 500. That means you got to have this record or whatever. So we're going to have a lot of short-term goals. And this week, starting today, we want to win the week. And that's our goal. So if we win 2 out of 3 this week, we'll be on the right track.
Coach, you talked about wanting to make the players happy again and needing to restore confidence. How do you do that in a team and in some of these young players who've really got off to kind of brutal starts to the season?
Yeah, well, I mean, there's only one place they can go if they've had brutal starts, right? And I always think of it as, you know, like a golf game where you can have a brutal front 9, but then it's over. and then you start over on the back nine. You got to do over. It's like a new game most of the time. So as far as I'm concerned, all these guys have opportunities right now, and it's start over. I'm not going to look at somebody and say, geez, you weren't very good for the first 15 games, so you're not going to get a chance to play. Here, this is what you're supposed to be. Let's see what you've got.
Bruce, I'm Ian McIntyre from Sportsnet. I know a coach always has to read the room. That's pretty tough when everyone in the room is new. But what sense did you get from the guys about sort of where they are, confidence-wise, morale-wise?
I think today they had a real energetic morning skate. Like, I mean, maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. I mean, I've been working with my junior team, and they're not anywhere near as quick or good. But, I mean, these guys looked awful fast to me today. I was just dodging them. I was going, oh, my God, I'm going to get killed out here. But they looked like they were happy to be getting the do-over, to starting fresh. You know, and so hopefully that's the way they play today. We just want to be a team that is in your face all night long and playing aggressive and not sitting back. And if we can do that with and that doesn't mean 4 guys up on the play or anything all the time and having odd man rushes against. That means just, you know, getting the forecheck really good, and then always having support with your third man high. And I mean, so which is why I say, why can't you be good offensively? Why can't you be good defensively? We want people to go to the net and stop at the net and get in front of the goalie rather than doing flybys, because that's where you score goals. A lot of guys find that, I'm not scoring right now. That's because they're going to the net and then they're going for the big skate instead of stopping in front of the net and getting the stuff that comes there. So I mean, we're hoping, you know, over time and in a very short period of time, that get that message across, and that's how they do it. So,
Bruce, David Petrelli, Nation Network. I was just wondering, what's the most intriguing thing about this new job that you're taking on right now? Like, what's the most intriguing thing about the challenge ahead for you?
well, I mean, you know, we're not in first place, so that's a definite challenge to rise up in the standings, and it's a challenge being in Canada, like seeing. I know what the pressure is and what people think of in hockey there. That's a real challenge for me. But I mean, what I want to do is I love young guys getting better. And we got a young team. So I mean, we want to consistently get better and better and better, and that's for a coach. That's very gratifying when you see guys improving. Like on a daily basis, and we want them to want to come to the rink rather than, I think when you're losing, it's go, oh my God, I got to go to practice again. I don't want to go there. But I mean, we want them excited about being here.
Coach DJ on Global Sports, do you have a timeline or a number amount of games where you look at the style that you want to play and whether or not you have the personnel to achieve your goals?
Well, I mean, I don't have a number, but I mean, I always used to think, quite frankly, when I was in Washington, we had a big, strong physical team, so I loved playing that kind of way. When it went to Anaheim, it was the same way. We had a big, strong team. When it went to Minnesota, your question would have been something that they would have asked because they was small and quick. But we played the same way, and it worked the same way. I mean, we don't need bone-crunching hits, but we need to be in their face so they can make mistakes, and we take the time and space away. So, I mean, I'm going to try to play the same way that we've played. Now, if I have any good traits, it's being able to read the room, and if it doesn't work, we change it. And but I think if we do the right things the way I think that they can be done, that success hopefully will follow.
Coach, Harman Dow from The Athletic. When you talk about implementing some of these changes, obviously you mentioned right now not having a lot of time. What's your process look like for slowly integrating some of that, as well as evaluating some of the individual players you have to work with and how you want to deploy them and make sort of those kinds of changes?
Well, if this was training camp, you'd start day one, work on the defensive zone and everything else. So, I mean, I think tomorrow that's what we'll work on. We worked a little bit on the forecheck today and how we come back into the D zone. The neutral zone will be maybe 2 practices away, or maybe you can accomplish 2 of them in one practice. So it shouldn't take long to get them to play the way I want to play, but it's the little things that are going to take some time. Is like, how do you that fall by the wayside a little bit, is that, for example, defensive zone faceoffs, who do you want to take where? Each coach has a different philosophy. I mean, and you can't throw everything at them all at once, because I know, when I was young, like, you threw everything at me at once, I wouldn't remember any of it. So you want to get the one thing down pat and then move on to the second thing.
Bruce, you spoke at length about your conversation with Brock Besser and what you're hoping to help him accomplish to get out of the funk that he's been in to start the season. Elias Pettersson is sort of the big headline item that everyone talks about in this market, his slow start through 25 games. From what you've seen, where can you help him get back to the level he's usually been at in the NHL?
Well, you know what? He's next on my list to talk to once I'm done with the hundreds of people in here. So I want to find out where he's at. More importantly, I know how good he can be and how good he has been and how he's, against my teams where he'd score an awful lot, and he was a really dynamic player, and I want to know if there's reasons that he wasn't or hasn't been that player right now, whether it's his line combinations, whether it's his partners, whether it's how he was treated, whether it's how much ice time he's had. I mean, there's things in his mind that I want to know about that. I'm a big believer. I mean, somebody came up to me today and said, "Listen, why don't you try me penalty killing?" And I'm saying, well, "I'll try you penalty killing, but if it doesn't work, don't ask me again." A lot of guys want more ice time. I'll give you more ice time, but if you don't do any good with that, then that's going to be it. So, I mean, I really believe that players know the game nowadays, and so they see what's right in front of them on the ice. And I'll take suggestions if it makes sense. I'm not the smartest guy in the world, but I mean, it's like I'm not trying to make everybody happy either. I have a sign, always had a sign in my office that said, "I don't know the secret to losing, but I know the secret to, I don't know the secret of winning, but the secret of losing is trying to make everybody happy." So we're gonna put the best players on the ice as much as we have to, and every game is like a Stanley Cup game for us. If we have to use some players 30 minutes one night and give them the day off, that's what we're going to do. We're not, if 4 lines are running, then 4 lines are going to go. But I mean, we're going to do what it takes to win, and I think that's what we're going to be trying to accomplish.
Farhan Walji from TSN.
Yes, sorry I didn't get back to you.
All good.
Okay.
Just wanted to ask you about your reputation as a player's coach. Kind of the feedback is that you're a laid-back guy. How much do you think that helps when you come into this mid-season situation? Because there's almost an arc to it when you come in midstream.
I mean, I don't know if that's a misnomer. I'm not a hard-ass kind of guy, but at the same time, you have to play the right way. It's just how you handle it. When you're talking to the players, I think as far as being a player's coach, I understand playing 17 years, what it's like, I think, in all situations, being called up, being sent down, playing a lot of minutes to playing no minutes, to being first-line player to being fourth-line player. So I think I've understood every situation, so I can identify with a lot of the situations that players come through, and that's what makes me be able to communicate a little bit better with most of the guys. What was the second part of the question?
No, just that. But my other question was just, you've been texted and you've got a sense of some of the good pieces that are here.
Yes.
Have you got a sense of where this roster's shortcomings are, or would you rather just kind of sit back and observe?
I think it's one of those that, I can't make that comment without being right behind the bench watching it firsthand. I could see it on TV on multiple occasions and watching highlights, but you don't get the true sense right there. A lot of times you see the frustration in the players from last game, or when you have the post-game interviews and you can listen to them, and you sense a lot of frustration on the players. But I'll be able to better tell tomorrow whether guys get it really quickly or whether you have to really show them a lot and be patient with them. Some guys, we did a drill today, even in one of the two, and guys were getting it right off the bat. And I told Scott today, I said, you know what, I think these guys are smart guys. They get it right off the bat, and I wasn't explaining it very good on the board. So, I mean, that's good.
Coach, Daniel Wagner, Vancouver is awesome. When you first came into the league with the Washington Capitals, you came into a very similar situation to what you're coming into now in terms of the record and the place in the standings. And you talked about instilling confidence. Is keeping that playoff dream alive part of that, or is it smaller steps necessary?
I mean, it starts with smaller. You take care of the smaller steps, and the bigger steps will take care of themselves. But right now, we just want to get playing better. And like I said, if we can win 2 out of 3, and then you win 2 out of 3, and then you win 2 out of 3, or you keep winning the weeks, and then all of a sudden you look up in January and you go, hey, we're only 4 points up. Then all of a sudden you can start looking at it. But if you say, hey, we have to win 12 in a row, that's a pretty daunting task. So I try to stay away from the big things and try to make it all more palatable sort of thing that they can buy into and say, hey, all we have to do is play good tonight, and let's worry about tomorrow.
Bruce, Vic Nazar from Sportsnet 650. Is there a piece of advice that you were given about coaching in the Canadian market that you value?
Sorry, I didn't understand that.
Is there a piece of advice someone gave you about coaching in a Canadian market that you value?
Yeah, beware. Yeah, that's pretty well it. I mean, I just know the passion. I'm a Toronto boy, and I know the passion of all the Canadians, and I get it every time I go home. So, I mean, I understand how important it is to us Canadians, hockey. It's our sport. Like, I mean, I can go to Anaheim, and there's 13 different pro teams in a 20-minute radius, but right now this is it in Vancouver. Like, I mean, as a main sport, and I know how important it is to all the fans, and so I get it, and now let's just see how I handle it.